My goodness. Hello there. It's Adrian. Long time no see, and I hope you're having a great day. I just woke up. Literally, I woke up, brushed my teeth, washed my face, and now I'm back in bed. But I hope you're doing good. You're welcome or welcome back to the channel where I talk about my unfiltered thoughts and opinions that nobody asked for. If that sounds like something that you're into, like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. Now, it's been a while. It's really been a while since I last uploaded a new episode, and God, I don't have any excuse other than work. That's all I've been doing. I've been freaking stressed as hell. Too much work going back and forth, doing night shifts, night duty. It's not been good. Yeah, let's just say that. So I just haven't been able to just get that time to be able to sit and I guess collect my thoughts and film an episode. But today I found some, so yeah, instead of doing any other thing, I'm gonna use this time to upload a new episode. So here we are. Anyways, as you've seen from the title, today we're gonna be talking about 2025 and how I just didn't want 2025 to be over. I'm gonna be honest, and I think 2025 was one of the best years after a long time of having really bad years. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, dude, on my part, I did not want 2025 to be over. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want it to be over. It wasn't a perfect year. Not every single thing went my way, but God, was it a good year? To me, it was a really good year, and I just didn't want it to be over. I didn't want it to be over, and I'm gonna give you my reasons. And one of the first reasons is because it was one of those years when I was just feeling really grounded. Generally speaking, I was feeling really grounded. I was mentally and emotionally grounded in 2025. The whole year, you know what I mean? The whole year I was feeling the whole of 2025, I felt really mentally and emotionally grounded. I felt grounded. I generally felt happy and at peace. And I know not that there really is never a single year where everything just goes perfectly, and 2025 was the same. Nothing went perfectly. Not everything went perfectly. It's just that I felt really mentally and emotionally stable and healthy and grounded. I was generally happy the whole year. I got to try out a lot of new things, got to meet a lot of new people. I traveled, met a lot of new friends. I went out a lot, had a ton of dinners by myself. I just had fun. It was just one of those years where I was like, this is gonna be my year. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna do things that make me feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna embark on all these different journeys that I know would make me feel uncomfortable, but lead to my ultimate, I guess, growth and me going after my dreams. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in 2026 right now. It was just one of those years, and I loved it so much. Oh God, I loved 2025. You know, it was one of those years, like, for the first time, I got to feel stable. For the first time in my life, after a really long time of just all these weird things happening, in 2025, I got to feel stable mentally, emotionally, relationship wise, even financially. And I just found this flow with everything, literally everything. I'm not saying that there weren't some hard days and weeks, maybe even months. There were there, but at the end of the day, that's life. That's inevitable. That's always gonna be there. You're not always gonna be happy. You're not always gonna be having a good time, or things are not always gonna go your way. But generally speaking, I had fun. I was happy. I was stable mentally, emotionally, financially, relationship wise. You know, it was just a good year. It was just a good year, not a perfect one, but a really good year, and I just did not want it to be over. I'm gonna be honest, I did not want it to be over, but also I understand that everything must come to an end. Everything must come to an end. And that included 2025, and it's just, it's going to be one of those really memorable years for me because a lot can change in 1 year. Forget 1 year, a lot can change in 6 months, you know? And 2025 was that year for me where a lot of things just changed. Oh God, I am not in the same place where I used to be in 2025, and I'm sitting now with myself just reflecting and watching some videos that I filmed in 2025 and listening to some episodes that I did in 2025 talking about how life can change at any moment and how I'm basically wondering where life is gonna take me in a year or 6 months and all that kind of stuff. And I was right. I'm in a completely different place. I was talking about how I could be surrounded by completely different people in a new environment, doing completely different things. And I was right. I was absolutely right because right now I'm in a completely different environment, completely different city and country, and different people, surrounded by different people, get to have all these different relationships. And yes, life has never been harder right now, but yeah, I'm not where I used to be. And that's the point. And to me, that's a blessing. It's a blessing. I think life is all about moving and changing and change and evolving and going through all these different seasons. It's just not about it staying the same. You know, it's not about it staying the same. You have to make sure that you grow as a person, change and evolve. We're not supposed to be stuck in the same environments or with the same people. Even if those environments are good or those people are good for us, I think it's always up to us to make sure that we change and do all these different things to try to grow and just evolve. Generally speaking, as humans, and that's what 2025 did. It was one of those years of transformation, and now I'm in 2026, and I'm like, oh God, what the hell of a year was 2025? Like, oh God, like from start to finish, it was a very eventful year. It was a year full of eventful stuff happening, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of resting, a lot of hustling and working, a lot of spending time with loved ones, family, and friends, a lot of love, a lot of, not a lot, but a bit of sadness and confusion, but mostly clarity. I loved it. I really, really loved it. And it's one of those years that I'm just really grateful that I got to have, seriously. And it's gonna be one of those really memorable years. I guess this episode is just me, I guess, mourning 2025, really. That's what it is. But I'm even more ready now to make this 2026 even better. I'm even getting more and more out of my comfort zone. I'm even letting my intuition be the compass and just guide me where I need to be and not make logical decisions and taking logical steps. And I think that's one of the reasons to why 2025 was just so fun and memorable. It's just because I just wasn't doing anything that made sense. I was just doing things depending on how I felt. Not my emotions like that, but more like intuition, how I felt internally. I was just like letting my intuition guide me where I need to be. You know what I mean? That's what it was about. And I think I want this 2026 to be more of that. I want to make time for myself, even though it began with me neglecting myself because of work and I'm really busy and I don't really get the time to do anything for myself because of work and just stress. But I'm really committed. I'm committed to make this year even better. And when it comes to my New Year's resolutions for 2026, I don't have a lot. I'm really against having a lot of New Year's resolutions. I'm all about having like 2 to 3 solid goals that you want to have, and that's it. And I think with this year, I have the same thing and I'm doing the same thing, and I have just two to three solid goals that I want to accomplish and I want to do, and just like be present. Be present and just have fun. Be present, have fun, and do more things that make me feel interesting and that make me feel alive and fulfilled. That's it. That's it. I don't want to make it complicated, and I don't think you should make it complicated either. Just try to have fun. Try to have fun. And I know I'm not having fun. I've just been stressed because of work. But yeah, oh God, that's all it's about. I guess this episode is just me about reflecting on 2025, and I think you should be doing the same. Sit with yourself, journal, talk to yourself, reflect on 2025, ask yourself what you did wrong, and try to correct that this year, and ask yourself what you did right, and try to do more of that this year. And I think that's what I've been doing, just self-reflecting, and I want to do more of the good things that I did in 2025 and do less of the, I guess, things that didn't help me that much, and do less of that in 2026. And yeah, man, that's all I have to say for today's episode. You know, I love you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Try to work on your mentality this year. Try to work on your emotional state. Try to work on your relationships, also your finances, your environment. Go out more if you can. If you can't, make time for it. I'm telling you this, I'm saying this to you, but I'm also saying this to myself. Because I need to also do that, because I've been really neglecting myself the beginning of this year and just focusing more on work. But God, yeah, let's try to do better. Anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. Like and subscribe if you feel like it for more episodes like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Sending you virtual hugs and kisses, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.